reading materials, everything. So don't worry about it. Okay, if anything, you can always reach out to me. So this is actually the change impact assessment and analysis. So I'm going to just go through with you, providing some preview for this. Okay. When you talk from the design for change, remember design thinking is very, very important. As a change management student, we design things to be successful, but in the context of organization, you also see that certain organization doesn't take design very seriously on their part. So sometimes people say design to fail. It is true. If you design to fail, then the result will be failure. Okay. So on the aspect of what we call it, a design for change is actually the aspect that we have to embed in our understanding. Okay. And then the focus of this, what you call this lecture, okay, also is about how do we see in terms of the impact of the change, the effect. So as a change management student, or we put the perspective role as change management manager, you need to study the impact. Then you do the comparison between the current stage and also the proposed future state. Okay. Remember when we talk about change, I start with the bridges transition model, because change is actually really, really about human being coping with change. Okay. They go through with the emotion and so on. Right now, also you will see that the most pressing issues right now is about economics. Also, apart from the pandemic COVID, and you see also a lot of these, layoff people, jobless, and they even graduates also find it hard to find job. So those are the aspects that we recognize the impact of it, the situation of it. Okay, that's why whatever we do, we need to actually go into this process. Okay. So what are the components, or what we call the levers of change? Those that actually become, you can say that the anchor for that, which perspective you're going to see for that. Okay. So in this case, we go by Balogun and Haley put about 8 of that. Okay, time, scope, preservation, diversity, capability, capacity, readiness for change, and also power. Okay. So as a change management student, you really have to be able to recognize this. Okay. And then when we talk so what is actually the anchor or perspective that drive for change, the levers of that? Time, for example. Okay. Right now, in the pandemic COVID, have you seen how the Malaysia Airline, AirAsia, Malindo, and the ticket price is just so expensive, right? To go to Kedah, I calculate I have to spend like 3,000 for return. It's almost equivalent that my trip a long time ago to England, for example. So time become very crucial for the airline company right now, because they are actually dealing with the crisis. The economic part of it put a lot of pressures on them. Okay, so the time become one of the perspective for them, and then the scope. Okay, what degree of change is needed? Either you realignment or you transform. Okay, so those are the contexts that actually affecting organization in a lot of decision making. And then preservation. So if you're talking about certain characteristic practices that you need to maintain or protect during change. So sometimes if we want to really, really, what you could go for transformation, but you start to sacrifice many aspects that related to integrity, that related to, those are the good culture of it, the important culture of it. It is actually not really good for the organization, right? In terms of the strategic, long-term orientation. So in this case, we have to understand what are the aspects change management, leader have to really, really look into this context. And then diversity, okay, and then capability, okay, in terms of organization, managerial, personal capability. Do we have the right kind of people if we want to go to this transformation phase, for example, from the context of organization? For example, doing the teaching and learning right now, I also ask myself, whether that my students are capable, and putting you in the perspective that and also the UNIMAS student, and also what facilities we just need to fine tune and personalize. If you need get more details information, but I think UNIMAS student, all my students are okay with it. They are capable of that. Okay, so this is just part of the levels if you are talking from the teaching and learning. Capacity about resources. Okay, right now also you have to spend money for the internet. Okay, because you want to go into this process. Okay, in a data plan. Okay, I guess that's the required one. Okay, so that you can move forward, and then you can actually just be part of that. And then readiness for change, how ready you are. Sometimes readiness for change also is a matter of, sometimes coming from something that we are not sure about how ready we are. We just have to go ahead. Like the pandemic situation, it's not about how ready you are. You just have to do the prevention. You have to just going through all the SOPs. It's not how ready you are anymore. Okay, so certain kind of thing. But from the aspect of readiness, as the organization, you have to create the awareness. Where I already explained to you about few models. Okay, so that staff, so that employee aware about the need for change and motivated to deliver the change. At the end of the day, remember, we are dealing with a human being. Okay, and then power is actually something that being recognized. Sometimes power also instigate change, create change. Okay, so these are actually the kind of levers about change. Now, the design choice is that, the type of change to be undertaken in terms of the nature of the change, so the change path, the change start point, where do you want to start? So this is where you design it, and design thinking is very crucial. And what are the style? Okay, if you want to go for the transformation to have the organization more innovative, you need to have a creative leader for that. You cannot have, regimental kind of leader. You cannot have like a very, very highly autocratic, so many bureaucracy. It doesn't work like that in the, to establish innovation culture. Okay. So those are the change of style that needed in the design. The target, the levers again, okay, what sort of thing that we're dealing with, and also the role. Okay. So these are actually some common thing that we recognize that. And then the readiness assessment, there are tools that are available. So these are tools that probably wants you to integrate in your, what you call your project later on. Okay, I don't want to spend so much on this part. You can actually study on your own. Okay, so they are actually given, and there are also some reading for you later on. So what to assess, you ask the first question first. So in your project later on, through prior consultation later on, you need to provoke on this kind of critical question. Okay, the scope, the readiness. Okay, we also talk from the individual part, whether that, from discrepancy, whether the belief itself, whether the staff believe that change is needed, whether it's appropriate, okay, whether they perceive their skill, their capability is actually matching that, and then what are the support, and then what are the evaluation from their personal cost and benefits. So this is what we call individual readiness for change. Remember, in the organization, employees actually make up organization. You need people, okay? You need the team. You need to drive on the change. And of course, we do also the stakeholder analysis. Okay, so later on we go through the project, you have to apply all this part. Okay. So the stakeholder analysis also, you ask a lot of questions, for example, from the influence, and then if you are dealing with the the merger, you are dealing with the the big transformation part of organization. It is very common to recognize all these questions. Okay, and then we also recognize that there are actually power play involved. Okay, you can have the quadrant, power, whether it's low, level of interest, whether it's high. So once you understand this, then you know how you're going to deal with them. Okay, for example, if you are talking about stakeholders who are actually have a very high power but very low interest, you just need to make them feel satisfied. It will be enough. Okay, but if you have the what you call this, the power is very high, and of course their interest also very high. They are actually the key players. Okay, meaning that a lot of consultation, a lot of decision have to be involved. They have to have all those important tools, all those important information, data, so that they can make decision. Okay, so these are actually the aspect about the dealing with the stakeholder analysis. And then when we talk also about depth, okay, what to assess also, recognize that there are actually scale of depth. Okay, for example, you can have some of the scale. This is what we call disruptive innovation. For example, like the TNL right now, that the pandemic, it is actually really, really disruptive. Okay, from point of view, the innovation can come if you are in the process of innovation for organization. But if the organization is not prepared, doesn't have all this kind of thing, the disruptors actually become some of the aspect that just disrupt, okay, and can have a positive and also the negative side. Okay, how we manage that. And then you can also have at the the level here shared change, okay, meaning that you go for something that making minor improvement, cut costs, find efficiency. You can do that, or you can go for the deeper change that involve on the strategic change. Okay, so there's also a depth about the dealing with change. And then the scale of change can be incremental, it can be modular, or it can be corporate. Corporate transformation is actually much bigger perspective. Okay, so these are the aspect that you're going to see later about how we manage when we are dealing with the merger, when we are dealing with the diversification, all those corporate transformation strategy. Okay. And then style of change. The style of change also reflected very well about leaders and also about how they engage the employees. Okay, collaborative, consultative, directive, cohesive. Like you paksa, coerce everyone. Okay, so senior management impose change on the organization. As a change management student, you don't see it as a wrong or right from your point of view. Okay, all these aspects have to be strategically used as part of the approach, when you are actually dealing with change. So sometimes when the organization is not productive or is not innovative enough, then the cohesive part actually become a very, very powerful approach that actually can create a good benefit for the long-term strategy of the organization, long-term sustainability of the organization, right? So readiness for change analysis, where I'm going to give to you, so you can actually integrate that for your project. So you have more details in terms of that. Okay, and then this is the example of the exercise. So maybe you will get in terms of that, right? Okay. All right. Is everyone okay for now? Do you have any questions so far? Is everyone clear?
No, doctor.